When a person departs from this life, the moment that follows is beyond anything we can truly comprehend. According to Edgar Cayce's insights, the soul does not immediately drift away or rush toward the afterlife. Rather, it remains for a brief, gentle interval, a quiet, almost tender suspension within a tapestry of love, memory, and unresolved feeling. In that stillness, the soul naturally looks back, observing the world it has just departed. During this intimate moment, the soul sees the raw anguish of those remaining behind, the shaking hands of children, the silent breaking of a spouse, the hushed weeping of friends and relatives. Every tear, every shudder of loss becomes visible to the soul with remarkable clarity. It perceives not merely the sadness, but the profound connection underlying it. The bonds that were cultivated throughout a lifetime. This interval is not born of hesitation or dread. It is a moment of deep recognition where the soul comprehends the magnitude of love, exchanged often in ways it could not fully grasp while living. It is as if the soul takes in the enormity of human connection in one luminous instant. Cayce stressed that during these moments, the soul encounters a tenderness and compassion that exceeds earthly comprehension. It is an initial glimpse into the limitless, unrestricted love that awaits beyond the physical realm. A love that will accompany the soul in its first connections with those still alive. Once the soul pauses to observe the mourning of its loved ones, it undergoes a deep transformation. Edgar Cayce characterized this as a moment when love reveals itself in its purest, most brilliant form. Love unencumbered by fear, doubt, or confusion. The soul suddenly experiences an affection far deeper than anything it knew during its mortal existence. A love that is whole, all-embracing, and unconditionally merciful. Unlike human love, which is often constrained, uncertain, and sometimes bewildered, the love of the soul is lucid, vast, and instinctive. It grasps every subtlety of connection, every quiet gesture of care, and every act of kindness, regardless of how small or overlooked. The soul perceives the fullness of the bonds it created, witnessing the influence of its presence in ways impossible while tethered to the physical realm. Each moment of laughter, each act of patience, every unspoken support now gleams like a luminous thread in a tapestry of shared existence. This profound clarity brings with it a deep empathy for those still living. The soul experiences neither panic nor loss. It feels a gentle, almost sacred compassion. It recognizes the pain of its loved ones not as a weight to carry, but as an expression of enduring love. In that awareness, the soul experiences an intense longing to comfort and reassure, to reach out in ways beyond the physical through warmth, presence, and subtle energy. Cayce stressed that this is the first true understanding the soul has of the love it both offered and received. Freed from human distractions, ego, and fear, it perceives the heart of every relationship, the meaning behind every touch, every word, every sacrifice. It is a love that transcends time, space, and the limitations of human perception. In this early stage of the afterlife, the soul's consciousness expands, illuminated by the recognition that its life had meaning, that its love persists, and that even in passing, the connection with those left behind remains vibrant, alive, and enduring. In those first moments after passing, the soul's instinct is not to ascend immediately or withdraw into the afterlife. Instead, it directs its attention to the living, drawn by a deep, unspoken urge to comfort and reassure. Edgar Cayce emphasized that the soul's first act after witnessing grief is an expression of love, silent, subtle, and profoundly tender. It is a love that reaches across the veil, offering warmth, presence, and reassurance in ways the living can sometimes perceive, even if they cannot fully explain. The soul communicates not through words or physical touch as humans understand it. Rather, it expresses itself through subtle impressions. An unexpected warmth filling a space, a peaceful stillness descending during moments of anguish, a brief sensation of someone nearby when the room stands empty. Those left behind might feel a tingling, gentle weight upon their shoulders, or a memory rising unbidden with vivid tenderness. These are the soul's messages. I remain with you. I have not gone. My love endures. This initial bond serves neither to erase grief completely nor to hasten healing. It is an opening gesture of compassion, a passage linking two realms that honors both those who remain and those who have departed. The soul bears witness to the profound emotion, the trembling hands, the quiet weeping, the names spoken softly, and answers with a presence both soothing and overflowing with love. Casey spoke of it as the soul bending towards sorrow, enveloping those it treasured, providing comfort without imposing. Through this tender, wordless exchange, the soul begins expressing a profound truth. Love persists beyond death. The mourning of those left behind reflects not a weight, but an unbroken bond. Within that reflection, the soul discovers its first chance to offer solace. Even amid piercing grief, the presence of the departed carries a soft, glowing reminder that life, love, and connection extend past the boundaries of the physical world. As the soul watches its loved ones grieve, a deep understanding frequently emerges. The genuine scope and significance of its life becomes undeniably apparent. Throughout earthly life, distractions, anxieties, and everyday hardships often conceal how deeply we connect with others. We may never truly comprehend how profoundly our existence affects those surrounding us. But in these initial moments following death, the soul perceives everything with remarkable clarity. Edgar Casey taught that the soul perceives the mark it has made upon others not as scattered pieces or passing moments, but as one complete, radiant weaving. Every word uttered, every act of compassion, every quiet sacrifice, and every patient gesture reveals itself fully. The soul witnesses how significant it truly was, how deeply its presence influenced the lives it encountered. This is not an occasion for shame or sorrow. It is an awakening to the vastness of love, given and received. This understanding carries with it a profound empathy for those who remain. The soul perceives each tear, each quivering shoulder, each whispered name through a vision of deep compassion. It comprehends the mourning not as a weight, but as evidence of the lasting connections that persist. The soul feels drawn to reach across, to provide comfort, to express its love through means beyond language or physical contact. Casey portrayed this recognition as both a discovery and a solace. The soul comes to realize that its existence held significance far greater than it could grasp while in bodily form. It is a moment of wonder, a brilliant understanding where love appears not as temporary or lacking, but as timeless, boundless, and life-changing. Through this recognition, the soul begins to comprehend its ongoing presence and the delicate ways it can uplift, comfort, and stay woven together with those it treasured, even beyond the boundary between life and death. Having recognized the profundity of its influence, the soul naturally seeks connection with those left behind. Edgar Casey described this as communication that moves beyond words and physical expression, working instead through subtle, nearly undetectable pathways. The soul extends itself through energy, presence, and soft impressions that the living may notice in moments of stillness. These expressions often appear in simple yet meaningful forms. A sudden warmth filling a space, a gentle pressure upon a shoulder, a prickling sensation along the neck. These are all ways the soul expresses its nearness. Memories may arise unbidden, carrying not grief but comfort, as though the soul is gently saying, "Remember the love between us." Even an unexpected peace that descends during moments of mourning can signal the soul's presence, steadying a heart on the verge of shattering. Casey stressed that the soul communicates through thoughts and intuition as well. The living may suddenly sense what a departed loved one would say in a given moment or feel drawn towards solace and clarity without consciously understanding why. These impressions are not mere imagination, though they may seem fleeting. They are the soul extending across the physical world's threshold, using the mind's receptivity to energy as a pathway. The heart of this communication is empathy. The soul perceives the suffering of the living and responds with compassion rather than anguish. Grief is recognized as a reflection of lasting love, not a burden to carry. Through these gentle gestures, the departed offer their first acts of reassurance, reminding those left behind that connection endures and love reaches beyond the boundaries of life and death.
Right here.
As the soul witnesses the sorrow of those who remain, it feels deep compassion rather than pain. Edgar Cayce explained that the soul does not experience grief as humans do. It is neither weighed down nor troubled by the tears and heartbreak of the living. Instead, it perceives sorrow as an expression of enduring love, evidence of the profound connections it formed during life. The soul's awareness of grief is vast and gentle. Every tear, every quiet moment of suffering, every whispered name holds significance. It sees not merely the sadness itself, but the love woven within it, the shared memories, the laughter, the unspoken bonds that linked it to the living. In this understanding, grief becomes a bridge rather than a wall, a channel through which love continues flowing between realms. This awareness fills the soul with a deep longing to provide solace. Though unable to physically reach out or speak, the soul extends itself through presence, warmth, and tender energy, creating quiet moments of comfort. Cayce characterized these gestures as a kind of spiritual empathy, a means for the departed to show love, to envelop those they cherish, and to whisper without words, "I remain with you. You are not alone." In truth, the soul views grief not as a weight, but as evidence of an unbreakable connection. Your sadness proves that love continues, vibrant and present, and this becomes the channel through which the soul maintains its bond, nurtures, and offers guidance. For the soul, the most precious reality is that love never ceases. It simply changes form, enabling the departed to stay close and caring in ways the living may perceive, feel, or sense intuitively, even without spoken communication. As the soul remains near those it treasured, it begins to comprehend the complete depth of love it knew and gave throughout life. Edgar Cayce described this as an instant of remarkable insight when every kind deed, every silent sacrifice, and every unvoiced gesture of tenderness becomes brilliantly clear. The soul views all its relationships as a luminous tapestry, each strand illuminated by the influence of love that often went unnoticed or unappreciated during mortal life. This fresh understanding brings deep thankfulness. The soul recognizes both how profoundly it was cherished and how much it loved others, sometimes unknowingly. Embraces, encouraging words, small acts of patience, moments that appeared mundane, now radiate significance. The soul feels wonder at how interwoven its existence was, comprehending that each relationship, however brief or delicate, left an enduring mark on others' hearts. Together with this gratitude, the soul experiences a soft sorrow for the suffering it cannot ease. Not guilt, but a gentle yearning to connect, to comfort, to share the peace and understanding it now completely embodies. Cayce stressed that this is not suffering as humans know it. Instead, it represents an elevated form of empathy. The soul feels a wish to soften the sorrow of those still living, to bridge the space between life and death through subtle signs of presence and affection. During these initial phases of the afterlife, the soul's awareness expands, brightened by the realization that love is eternal. Every compassionate deed, every connection, every instance of shared happiness or support endures forever. The soul perceives the fullness of its love as an energy that continues flowing, linking it to the living in ways both visible and unseen, reminding both the departed and the bereaved that the bonds of the heart are never truly severed. In the hours and sometimes days after death, the soul frequently stays near the world it has departed, not from confusion or fear, but from love. Edgar Cayce explained that this lingering is a natural reaction to observing the sorrow of those it treasured. The soul feels a profound desire to bring comfort and reassurance, drawn by the invisible connections that tie it to family, friends, and loved ones. Throughout this time, the soul's presence is quiet yet deeply felt. It aims to console without imposing, to provide comfort without speaking, and to enfold the living in a still, caring embrace. Loved ones may sense unexpected warmth in the room, a prickling feeling on their shoulder, or a brief awareness that someone unseen is present. These soft impressions are the soul's method of communicating. I am here, I am safe, I have not abandoned you. Cayce emphasized that this nearness reflects lasting empathy. The soul views grief not as a weight upon itself, but as evidence of love persisting across the boundary. The soul draws near to the grief of those still living, providing gentle solace and companionship, helping to anchor hearts during moments of overwhelming emotion. Each gesture, whether a soothing thought, an unbidden memory, or a brief physical sensation, carries purpose, a silent bridge of love extending from one realm to another. At its core, the soul remains not from captivity, but because love draws it to stay close. Grief becomes a pathway through which the departed can maintain connection, offering reassurance, wisdom, and gentleness. In these times, the soul's primary purpose becomes evident, to remind those who grieve that their shared bond survives, that love continues beyond death, and that the departed stay present, bringing comfort in ways only a soul knows how. Edgar Cayce explained how the soul extends comfort to those left behind through methods that are delicate, loving, and intimately personal. These approaches are neither physical nor spoken, but emerge through impressions, feelings, and intuitive cues that the living can sense when their hearts remain receptive. The soul seeks to provide assurance, to offer its presence, and to remind the grieving that love endures. These gestures may appear in numerous forms: an unexpected warmth filling a room, a soft pressure upon a shoulder, or a prickling sensation along the neck or arm, can each indicate the soul's proximity. Memories may arise without warning, bringing not sorrow but a reassuring recognition of treasured moments and lasting love. Amid grief, a feeling of peace or stability may descend upon the heart, as though the soul gently cradles it. Dreams or meaningful coincidences may also deliver messages, vivid enough to seem genuine, yet soft enough to slip past conscious awareness. Cayce stressed that thought becomes the soul's language. The living may receive sudden insight or instinctively understand what a departed loved one would express in a difficult moment. These impressions represent not mere imagination, but conduits through which the soul speaks. At the heart of these interactions lies empathy. The soul senses grief and responds with understanding, patience, and compassion. These gestures ultimately fulfill a profound purpose, reminding the living that their connection endures, that love transcends death, and that even without words or physical presence, the departed remain near. In these moments, grief becomes a bridge of continuing love, enabling the soul to reach across the veil and offer solace, reassurance, and a quiet, lasting presence. Once the soul has remained close to the living, providing comfort and reassurance through subtle presence and gentle impressions, it arrives at a deeper understanding. Edgar Cayce described this as the soul's final offering, a gesture of peace, clarity, and enduring love that extends beyond temporary solace. By this stage, the soul has fully recognized the depth of its influence, the magnitude of love it shared, and the lasting bonds that remain intact. This final act is not intended to erase grief or hurry the living through mourning. Rather, it is a quiet, profound reassurance, a reminder that life goes on, that love persists, and that the departed are safe, free, and present in a higher, radiant state. Through small, nearly imperceptible gestures, waves of warmth, sudden calm, meaningful memories, the soul conveys a message of enduring connection. I am here. I am safe. I love you still, and I always will. Cayce emphasized that this peace differs from human comfort. It is not meant to fill the void left by loss, but to offer a deep inner knowing that transcends time and space. Grief is honored and the bond respected. Yet the soul's presence demonstrates that love cannot die. The living can sense it in fleeting, luminous moments. A flicker of warmth, a sudden sense of calm, a thought that arrives with unmistakable clarity. In this way, the soul completes its first act of post-life guidance. It leaves behind a subtle and lasting blessing, a quiet, invisible force that strengthens, comforts, and nurtures those who remain. Cayce's wisdom reminds us that while death transforms the nature of our connections, it cannot break them. Love endures, and through it, the soul continues to reach out, guide, and embrace, offering one final radiant gift: the assurance that no one is ever truly alone. If these words have stirred something within you, Pause to consider the love and connections that fill your own life. Have you ever sensed the presence of someone dear to you after they passed? Share your experience in the comments and connect with others who have felt that same gentle comfort. Love transcends both life and death, and your bonds remain even when someone has departed. If this speaks to you, subscribe for more reflections on life, love, and the soul's journey beyond this world, so you may continue discovering the quiet, beautiful ways love never truly fades.